Yo, what's up, everybody? Lawler here. The search is finally over. Beasley Esports, the search where they were trying to find the best unsigned RLCS team to represent themselves in the upcoming RLCS 11 season, RLCS 11 XI, I don't know what they're going to call it, is officially over after multiple weeks of open qualifications and crazy brackets. They have found their team that is going to be going by the name Team AXLE-R8, which I guarantee everybody will be spelling incorrectly. What's up, everybody? Lawler here, your inside source for all things Rocket League. An exciting one for you all today as we talk about Beasley Esports, the owners behind the Overwatch League franchise Houston Outlaws, have completed their search in order to provide a up-and-coming team, a top 32 team in the Rocket League scene in North America, a guaranteed one-year contract for the upcoming season of RLCS 11. Which is a really big deal. Not only is this circumstance a unique way to find an up-and-coming team, and the format actually benefiting and working relatively well with the team that they found and ended up picking up in the long term, which we'll talk about here in a sec. But it's just a different approach on how to find a roster rather than just going through the current rankings and being like, yep, they're the next best that has yet to be signed. Let's go with them. Heck, even more, if they wanted to, they could have tried to do an entire buyout and pick up a team that may be susceptible to having big money come in and say, hey, we want your team. You guys want to make some money? Let's switch hands. So what exactly is the search? First and foremost, if you guys don't know, that means you don't watch my videos, and shame on you. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications. We talk about this stuff all day long, all Rocket League related news, esports, and otherwise. So if you guys don't already, hit subscribe, turn on notifications. If you enjoy the content, give it a thumbs up. We also talk about this stuff almost daily on stream. I stream every day on Twitch at twitch.tv/Lawler, except for Tuesday and Sundays. Unless I have casting gigs that get in the way and I have to travel elsewhere, which I beg, please come back. I miss traveling and casting. It has been too long. This offseason is driving me insane. But let's get back into the topic at hand. Beasley Esports, the search. They had a bunch of teams that end up coming out to compete through multiple qualifiers until we're left with our top 16. Those 16 teams should be displayed full screen on your display right now. We got Team.exe, Board, Dream, Jolly Roger Esports, Catch-22, Lights Out, which somehow is still going strong with Kevpert, Isolated, Bepis, Vibrance, Frequence, Nefarious, Square One, Karma's new team, Large Chicken, Odyssey, Zookeepers, and the Blues. Some of these teams are definite standouts and are ahead of the pack. Those easy ones are probably Team.exe, Square One, Nefarious, Frequence, Zookeepers, and Vibrance. I would say are your top 6, with some moments of teams that can kind of play upset here and there. But those teams are pretty much the ones you need to pay attention to. After finding these top 16 teams, these teams then ended up playing in a best of 5 single elimination bracket to find out who your top 4 teams are. Those teams are Zookeepers, Frequence, Vibrance, and Nefarious. Square One ended up beating their first round and then ended up losing in Game 7 to Zookeepers in overtime. I don't know what it is about Karma in those teams. Charlotte Phoenix feels here to the fullest degree. If you check out the promo relegation history with Karma, again, it feels like more of the same, and it kind of hurts my heart. You then see Team EXE have a really good start and end up falling 4-2 eventually to Frequence. You then have Vibrance going through no issues whatsoever, not dropping a single game in their qualifier. You then have Nefarious and Dream both getting a free win because both teams forfeited, and then Nefarious 4-0's Dream moving in. So we've got Zookeepers, Frequence, Vibrance, and Nefarious. First match in the semifinals for day 2 in our top 4 is Zookeepers versus Frequence, and Vibrance versus Nefarious. What's unique about our top 4, though, is they do a similar format, or the exact same format technically, to the RLCS championships that they did for the regionals, where you play a best of set. So instead of just playing a individual best of 7, you have to win 2 out of 3 best of 7s. Winner moves on, and that applies as well for the grand finals. In this case, the semifinals are best of 5s. Grand finals is best of 7. So in this case, in the semifinals, you're playing a best of 5. If you win that best of 5, you get a point. You win another best of 5, you get another point. That gives you 2 out of 3. You advance. In the first semifinals, Zookeepers versus Frequence. Smooth sailing for Zookeepers. They don't drop a single game, actually. They go 6-0. 3-0 in their first series, 3-0 in their second series. They advance. Zookeepers does have a pretty tough fight, though. Frequence is able to score in every single game. No shutouts. Very close matches. But Zookeepers finds himself in the grand final. Vibrance and Nefarious is a little bit different. Starts off with Vibrance taking the first 2 games, and then they get reverse swept by Nefarious, and that's first match point, and those are scary. When you play an entire best of 5, it comes down to one moment, overtime, 47 seconds, and all that effort you just put into a series just for it to kind of slip away really, really sucks. Mentally, though, Vibrance stands tall and ends up coming back. 2 more overtimes right off the bat, and they end up winning 3-0 in the second set, and then 3-0 again in the third set. So after being reverse swept, they win 6 in a row, close it out, move into the grand finals. Unfortunately for Nefarious, a team that has played upset numerous times in RLCS qualifiers and RLCS open brackets throughout RLCS 10, falls short here, and Vibrance goes on to the grand finals to play Zookeepers. If I had to iterate how important this match is, you have 2 teams that after a month plus of open qualifiers and games and matches are now playing for a guaranteed 1-year deal for the RLCS next season. We used to have the promotion and relegation system where if you were a team that played in the rival series, the RLRS, you had a chance to play against the bottom 2 from the RLCS and a chance to promote into the RLCS, which does give guaranteed money for the matches that you play. But what it doesn't guarantee is an organization paying you a salary for the next year, guaranteed. That's actually insane. In the original rules, Houston Outlaws or Beasley Esports stated that they have like $12,000 to $15,000 per month that they're going to provide to these 3 players as a salary. So looking at the standard $4,000 to $5,000 a month, guaranteed for a year, for the chance to do what you love. That is what is on the line in this grand final. It's the biggest individual prize that for an up-and-coming team can ever receive. It's absolutely massive. And you have 2 players that are definitely feeling the stress, and it all comes down to one best of set. First set goes to Zookeepers. It goes all the way down to game 7. 1-goal game. Zookeepers ends up clutching it out. They get the first series. In the second series, Vibrance comes out strong and wins 4-1. And then we get into the third series, which is just absolute insanity. I highly recommend going back and watching. It starts off every other game with Vibrance 1, and then Zookeepers 1, and then Vibrance, and then Zookeepers, and then Vibrance. But what's insane is in games 4, 5, 6, and 7, every single one goes to overtime. Every single game, more and more pressure. Every single game coming down to the wire. Every single game, one step closer to securing a contract for the RLCS season in Season 11. That is what is on the line, and it definitely lives up to the hype. But it does go back and forth until Zookeepers in Game 6 and Game 7 clutches the victory, both in overtimes, like I mentioned, 4-3 and 2-1. The last goal, I'm pretty sure if you haven't seen the clip, lives up to the hype. Take a look.
Here he comes. Slow play. You know he's going to go for those slow plays.
Oh, yeah.
So smart with them.
There's a player on this field that you out for. It's J-Bot and Oath, and this is where he's trying to make a mark. The demo comes through.
Bambi! Double!
Tap. It's over! Zookeepers win Game 7 and secure the contract.
It's a GG!
So, now that you know the story, what happened, the results and everything, does it live up to the hype? Was this a good idea for Beasley Esports? Ultimately, I kind of go back and forth. Number 1, your AXLE-R8 team. I don't like the name. It's a little bit weird. I get it's a play on words, but color scheme and otherwise, I don't mind it. But the name itself, here nor there on. It's kind of in between for me. As for the process, did you end up getting a team worthwhile? I do think you found a pretty solid team. Out of all the teams that signed up and played and otherwise, you are finding a realistically top 32 team with a ton of potential. A team with some very talented players that have been around for a really long time. If you guys don't know the players on Zookeepers, you're missing out. Tool, Bambi, and J-Bot have been in this scene for a very long time and are looking for an opportunity. And now that they have financial backing guaranteed for the next year, who knows what it leads to. If you guys don't remember, J-Bot, longtime friend of Com, who currently plays for version 1. He used to play with him in DreamHack. Same with Tool. If you guys remember Bullsend back in the day and the runs they made through DreamHack. These players have been in the scene for quite a while. It's actually a huge thing for them. And I'm actually interested to see on how they progress. Top 32, are they going to be able to beat the top dogs like NRG and Space Station and, you know, teams of that caliber like Envy? I don't think so. But we've also seen what can happen when a team gets the opportunity consistently to play against the best of the best. The exposure they get to scrim and practice on a real stage rather than the potential of once every 6 months like it would have been in the rival series, where if you just happen to be in the top 2, You get 1 day's chance to promote into the RLCS and get a full season of it, which is technically only 8 to 9 games. So yes, this is a big deal. Yes, I think Zookeepers are a dang good squad and have showcased that numerous times. And at the same time, even if things don't go well in the upcoming RLCS season, at least they have the exposure and backing to give them that opportunity. The other thing about it too is who knows what happens to them as free agents. Maybe these performances will showcase to other teams that are maybe looking in the, 5 to 10 range for RLCS teams. Yo, this Tool guy is really good. Yeah, this Bambi guy, this J-Bot guy is really, really talented. Maybe we should give them an opportunity now that they've showcased what they can do. It's a huge thing, not only for Beasley Esports to put a lot of faith in the team for the next year, but at the same time, it's also really awesome for the players as they secured themselves a contract for the next year. It's actually massive what this means for these players. Either way, curious on what you guys think. Do you feel the Beasley Esports search was successful or not? Do you think they got a viable team, or do you think it was all for naught? Let me know in the comments down below, as Team AXLE-R8 is going to be moving forward into RLCS 11 with Tool, Bambi, and J-Bot. And as always, if you guys do enjoy the content, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.